Hey, the Kobe Bryant of the NFL, Jalen Hurts here. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that hype button, and share this with everyone you know. My Eagles just came back to beat the Rams after I decided to take over play, calling duties for the rest of the second half. It's crazy what happens when you put past plays into the game plan. We are 3-0 to start this season, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. Anyways, fly Eagles, fly.
All right. Your reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles, barely defeat the Los Angeles Rams. They're not going to get called the Lambs in this video. 33-26, and one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen the Eagles get. Ever. This game, of course, started off sloppy. It started off horrible as the Rams were basically just not bothered at all by our defense. Now, Zach Bond did get an interception early, but the offense for the Eagles was just run game after run play after run play. And, when the Rams defense is stacking the box and they're clearly selling out to stop the run game, and you don't pivot out of that into any real passing game, you get the results that you get, which was when we were going into the half, I believe the Rams were up 19-7 or something. It was something like that. 19-7. Points were up big, but the big horrible note on that was that the Eagles had -1 passing yards. And the fan base, including myself, was really upset. And I was on the fire Kevin Patulou right now as soon as possible. And as soon as Mike McDaniel gets fired by the Dolphins, sign him on to be our OC train. I was on that train. The second half happens. Some fumbles. I already forgot who the fuck it was. They fumble, and then all of a sudden, the Rams score. So now it's 26-7. And I thought, okay, maybe this game is over. Maybe this game is done. But then the Eagles' offensive drive happened. And wouldn't you know it, they started passing the ball because they had to, because if they didn't pass the ball, they stood no chance of winning the game. And wow, guys, wouldn't you know that once you start passing the ball in the Eagles' offense, it starts to flow and click, and Saquon's runs become longer runs now. I don't know why it's taken so long to make these adjustments. I don't know why the Eagles staff just refused to make these adjustments in the second quarter when they clearly saw what we saw on the screen. But anyways, once that passing attack was getting going, it was magic. It flowed. This was the last year's Super Bowl champions all over again. We went from the Brian Johnson 2023 offense, the Tua Tagovailoa-esque offense, to prime last year's Eagles Super Bowl offense. Jalen was reading his receivers, throwing it to them, dropping dots all over the field. They were airing it out. I think there was a drive that I was literally yelling at my screen, please, 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 for the love of God, just throw 7 pass plays in a row and don't even think about Saquon right now. And that's exactly what happened. And you could tell the Rams defense was starting to get confused, and they didn't know what to fucking do. Because their game plan was to sell it to stop the run. All of a sudden, Eagles are going Air Coryell, and they're just passing it all over the place. So what the fuck do you do now? And it was working. I think we had 14 unanswered from that point, and it was 21-26. And the defense was about to get a stop. But Puka Nacua, who I think is going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver, made a ridiculous catch on third down to extend a Rams drive in there, which kind of postponed the momentum a little bit. I feel like if we stopped Puka Nacua there from catching that ball and they had to punt back to us, we would have ran down the field and scored again, and we would have steamrolled that game. But anyways, Rams hang in there. They eventually punted back to us, and then Jalen Hurts in a game-winning drive when it mattered the most with little minutes left was clutch. He was clutch. He delivered. He threw a touchdown pass to Devonta Smith on 4th down, which, again, leading up to that moment was very, very interesting. It was very, very nerve-wracking. This is honestly the first game I felt this year, and the first game I felt since the playoff Rams game where we actually stood a chance of losing. Even against the Chiefs, I knew we weren't going to lose to the Chiefs based on how the game was going. And I knew we wouldn't lose to the Cowboys, even without Jalen Carter. But this game, it was like, okay, maybe we don't have enough gas to really come back and do this. But seeing them convert that 4th down was really inspiring. Now, they failed the 2-point conversion, so the score was 27-26. And I'm like, uh-oh, we're giving them enough time to come in here and kick a game-winning field goal. And that's exactly what happened. Matthew Stafford freaking airs it out, throws it. I think Puka Nacua caught every single freaking pass leading to that field goal attempt. They call their timeout. They line up their kicker. And I'm sitting there going, we're really about to lose this game 29-27 after all this effort to come back. And it's just going to be demoralizing and heartbreaking. And people are going to be calling to get Patulou fired the next day. And the Eagles did block a field goal earlier. So I thought, holy shit, that's not going to happen again, right? There's no way. As soon as that field goal got blocked and Jordan Davis was running it to the house, I jumped up and down and was screaming my ass off. And, oh my God, we fucking won. Let's fucking go. No flags. It was crazy. Crazy comeback game. Probably the best comeback game I've ever seen from the Eagles, like ever. I don't recall another comeback from the Eagles being like this, in this fashion, where you look completely like shit in the first half, like literally anemic on offense, and then in the second half, it comes alive and you win. That was crazy. Yeah, we beat the Rams, and the Rams are a very good team, and I expect the Rams to be a playoff team. It's not like this is, the Jaguars or the Browns. This is the Rams. The Rams will be in the playoffs. They will give teams a tough fight. And honestly, they should have won this fucking game. But, it's the NFL. Concerns from the Eagles side. Again, that second cornerback spot. Adoree Jackson should get benched. They should just trade for a corner. Now, the Browns, unfortunately, did win their game against the Packers, so maybe they're not trying to sell off any pieces anymore, which makes an acquisition of a corner like Greg Newsome less likely. But maybe we can get another CV2 out there from a team that's tanking. We'll see. The concerning thing for me in this game was the run game. Our defense can't stop the run for some reason. This is now the second team that has run the ball on us successfully that actually has a legit run game that they can lean on. Dallas did it, and I thought that was just because, we don't have Jalen Carter, so of course they're going to do that. But even with Jalen Carter in the game, the Rams did it today, and it was annoying. It was frustrating to see them just run the ball down our throat. I thought our defense wasn't supposed to be doing that. But looks like teams can run the ball on us, and that's not good. That with the combination of just not having a second cornerback on the team that's reliable is poking holes in the defense. Overall, besides that, the defense played really well this game. If it wasn't for them, we would not have won. So, good job on them. And, of course, Jalen Carter stole a Jared Verse chain. So, that's cool. He literally actually stole his chain, which is hilarious. Yeah, that's it for the Eagles side of things. Now that the offense has been unlocked, hopefully this means we'll start games with more passing plays instead of just handing it off to Saquon Barkley every time. Love the fact that Jalen Hurts screamed at Patulou in the sideline. I think that was needed. If he didn't do that, I would question his leadership. But this is the current reigning defending Super Bowl MVP, and he did what he had to do. He even sent his post-game conference, listen, I did what I had to do to win. This is great. Now, next week, we got the matchup, which is at 1 p.m., and it's a crime that it's not at least in the 4 p.m. 4:25 window. we got the Philadelphia Eagles, the team that literally can't lose no matter what, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield, the comeback kids who have come back and won every single game this season. Both of us are 3-0. Both of us are losing. One of us is going to lose next week, and it's in Tampa. And of course, if you've been following the Eagles for any time, you know that Tampa Bay is like our boogeyman. Tampa Bay is like that team that just always has a good time against us, always gets us for some reason. But because of Tampa Bay's injuries, I expect the Eagles to win this game, and I expect the Eagles to come out here and get a victory now that the offense has been unlocked, now that Jalen Hurts screamed at his OC. And the Buccaneers don't really have that many weapons, and they're hurt all around.